Hello everyone, hope you're having a wonderful day, and today guys I want to make a quick little update video on the Siphoning Strike Monk build I did do a couple days ago, because I have changed this build slightly based on your guys' feedback. You guys let me know some things, and now it is clearing screens faster than ever. Now if you want a more detailed explanation on how this build works, I will pop my build video down in the comment section below, and the Mobilix build planner will also be down in the comment section for anyone that cannot be bothered listening to me for another 5+ minutes. So before I was using Herald of Ash, and a few of you asked, why am I not using Herald of Thunder? That is a very good question. Why am I not using Herald of Thunder? Well, my smooth brain didn't have the right support slotted in, so when I was testing out Herald of Thunder, I just thought I wasn't shocking enemies enough for it to be viable with this build. Nope, I just had one support gem in the wrong spot. I didn't realize, obviously, and it's a big reason why we were not shocking enemies as much as what we should have been. So I did watch a whole bunch of budget monk build videos, and now I can clearly see where I horribly went wrong. So I don't want to keep you guys here any longer than you need to be, so let's just go over what we have changed. Like I said, we did take out Herald of Ash. We are now running Herald of Thunder, and the main way we are shocking enemies is with Herald of Ice. So I have changed the supports on Herald of Ice to Lightning Infusion, Conduction, and also Innovate. You don't need Innovate, mainly just Lightning Infusion and Conduction. So that way, when we're chilling our enemies, they're going to be shattering as if they're frozen. Herald of Ice is going to be doing little Nova explosions everywhere. They're going to be shocking enemies simultaneously, and then Herald of Thunder is going to come down, hit all those enemies, and help us nuke screens even faster. Much better than Herald of Ash. I just didn't have the right setup. I didn't have the right recipe in place to make this work. Now that we do, it definitely is working a hell of a lot better, and Herald of Thunder is much better of Herald of Ash for this particular setup. So for Herald of Thunder, we do have Ambush, we do have Coursing Current, and we also have Super Critical. I'm not sure if you need these supports. Most people have Ice kind of support set up, but I felt like with Charged Staff having a lot of the Ice support, and then also Siphoning Strike being able to have extra cold damage with Cold Infusion, I felt like this setup was freezing enemies perfectly fine for me. Plus I do kind of need Cold Infusion in Siphoning Strike. As you can see, the damage falls off a fucking cliff when I take out that support gem. So that is why we're still running the cold supports over in Charged Staff and Siphoning Strike. I know some people like to run the cold supports on Herald of Thunder, but I did take Ambush, so we're doing 100% more crit chance, which I think would take Herald of Thunder up to 60%, which is pretty crazy. And then Herald of Thunder is also going to be doing 100% more crit damage bonus. So actually with the 20% less crit, it wouldn't be at 60%, but it'd be about 50% chance to crit, which is fantastic. Drop an extra 100% extra critical damage bonus on enemies. I don't know if I need Coursing Current. I think Herald of Thunder can shock enemies, because it does just convert my physical damage into lightning damage. If I'm wrong there, let me know. I'll take this out, put something else here. Pretty much it. That's all we've really changed. Just taken out Herald of Ash, put Herald of Thunder. And the main reason I did this update video is just so I can show to you guys that Herald of Thunder is just much better for this setup over the Herald of Ash. I know I did it on the build planner, but I feel like seeing it is believing it more than just reading a build planner and then trusting my word. I feel like you guys being able to see the damage, seeing how quick we're clearing through screen, I think that does more justice than anything. So that's just the main purpose of the video, just to show you guys that I'm using Herald of Thunder, and just to show you the clips of Herald of Thunder just absolutely wiping through screens. So just to kind of review and give you my thoughts on my own freaking build that I made, I actually have a lot of fun going through maps with this build. I think it's going to be my favorite build I've used going through maps, just because of how quick it is, how smooth it is to use, just going through packs and packs and just wiping screens. It's going to be my favorite breach build to use. If any breaches, I'm always using Siphoning Strike. After using Siphoning Strike, I tried going back to Ice Strike. I couldn't do it. It's too slow for me. I want to be zooming through. Give me that dopamine rush of just deleting packs very, very quickly. The only negative to this setup is it's a bit awkward for bosses. I know some of you guys did say that as well. I didn't mention that in my video. It is awkward to use with bosses because you're always lunging, and because we have +6, well +8 to melee with our passive skills, sometimes you lunge in the wrong direction, through the boss, all over the place. It can be really jarring and awkward sometimes. The best tip I can give is don't move. Don't press W, don't move your stick forward on your controller, stand still and just do the ability. That seems to work the best for me, but it's not ideal. Ice Strike and Tempest Flurry are just 10 times easier to use, and you're probably better off using them. But I will admit, Siphoning Strike is a hell of a lot of fun to use to go through maps very, very quickly. I'll probably always continue to use Siphoning Strike to go through map, but I do think Ice Strike is definitely much stronger when you are taking on bosses. Okay, and just quickly before we wrap this video up, I do want to mention one thing. I kind of fell into the trap of getting quarterstaffs with plus level to all melee skilled. I was watching a couple of videos and I realized that you don't really need this. It's a bit of a bait, almost, the plus level to all melee skills. If I do put this on, you can see it is giving me more damage, but my mana cost of Siphoning Strike is going to basically be doubled. So I can't have Heft anymore. I have to have Inspiration, which does drop my damage down to 102,000 damage. So if we go ahead and just put Heft back on and put this and then put this staff back on, we're only really losing like 6,000 damage, which isn't really that much. Like, it is a little bit, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. Now, the other thing is elemental damage with attacks is very, very strong. And I keep forgetting that the Bell Shockwave converts, it converts 60% of your physical damage to elemental elements that are afflicting the bell. So I think if I inflict the bell with like ice, shock, or fire, my elemental damage should now boost the bell's damage even more after that conversion. I think that's how it should work. If I'm wrong, let me know. I have checked my boss kills from when I wasn't using increased elemental damage to when I am using elemental damage, and it definitely does feel like we're killing the bosses a lot quicker. And then the other thing is, you can see that Herald of Ice is doing about 7,631 damage. If we go ahead and put this staff on and we go back over to Herald of Ice, you can see that Herald of Ice is only doing 6,253 damage now. So the elemental damage is also boosting Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder. I think that's kind of obvious. They're doing elemental damage. Of course, they're getting boosted. When we're getting our other buffs while we're killing enemies, like Rage, increase to cold damage, increase to lightning damage, Herald of Thunder and Herald of Ice go up to like 15,000 damage, which is way more than if I had this staff on as well. So the clear speeds are definitely feeling a lot quicker with elemental damage. I thought I just wanted to mention this because I did fall into the trap of thinking that plus all level to melee skills is gotta be good, right? You're increasing the level of your skill, you're going to be getting more damage, which you are, but it comes at a price with more mana generation. Now, our mana generation isn't perfect, it's definitely a lot better, and it feels a lot better than actually running that plus to all melee skills. And we're only losing 6k damage, but I'd rather lose 6k damage than have to manage my mana all the time in a boss fight. I just want to get in there, delete the boss, and move on. So I just thought I wanted to drop that little bit of information. I fell into the trap of thinking plus all melee skills was good. It is good, and it will probably get you by if you have nothing else. But if you can get the physical damage, add physical damage, increase elemental damage with attacks and attack speed, you are definitely going to be much better off than trying to just get physical damage, add physical damage, and like attack speed and plus all melee skills. And ideally, if you want more damage, you'd want to replace the gain life per enemy killed and gain mana per enemy killed to crit chance and crit damage. That's like a friggin' perfect roll. It's going to be very hard to find one of those. They're very fucking expensive, but if you manage to get something like that, you are actually fucking laughing. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I really want to talk about. Just this one little change, switching out Herald of Ash to Herald of Thunder, and then also the big mistake I think I made in when I was picking my quarterstaff. And I completely forgot to mention, this quarterstaff is exactly the same price as this quarterstaff. I both paid 1 divine for them, and I do feel like this one is better because I think I fell into the trap of the +4 level to all melee skills. I have had this staff for a very long time. I'm only realizing now that I might have made a big boo-boo when I purchased my first staff. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with this build. I'm nearly done with Monk as well. I've tested a lot of stuff out. I've used pretty much most of the top tier Monk build. All I need to do is kill a couple more pinnacle bosses and then I'll be happy, and I'll be happy to move on to like another character. I'm not sure what the next character is going to be, but I do want to do a challenge run. I have an interesting idea in mind. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you guys are into stuff like that, stay tuned. So I do think this build is very, very fun. It has its flaws. I don't think it's better than Ice Strike or Tempest Flurry, but if you're just looking for something to go through maps and delete breaches very quickly, I would highly recommend you try Siphoning Strike out. It's a hell of a lot of fun. And that's it for this update video. Hopefully the build did help you guys out in some way or another. Appreciate all the love and support as always. And until next time, stay safe. Peace out.